Welcome to This Just In, a weekly news show highlighting the people and events in Newport News Public Schools. With our last episode of 2022, let's take a look back at the stories and successes that impacted students, staff, and families this past year in Newport News Public Schools. Back in February, schools across the city celebrated Black History Month. At Sedgefield Elementary, students blended history with STEM discovery for a hands-on learning experience. Students at Sedgefield Elementary put their own STEM spin on Black History Month. During a half-day in February, the entire school spent time on various grade-appropriate design challenges. In the upper grades, students focused on blending STEM discoveries with African American history. In third grade, student teams learned about simple machines, such as the wedge, lever, or pulley. Together, each team researched different African Americans who used these simple machines to create their own popular inventions that we all use today. With this gained knowledge, third graders made their own creations based on the simple machine they had learned about. Fourth graders learned about famous African American spies, taking time to research the lives of Josephine Baker, Harriet Tubman, James Lafayette, and others. After constructing three-dimensional shapes out of paper, students used these shapes to build new tools or gadgets that spies could use to carry out their top-secret plans. And in the fifth grade classrooms, students read about patchwork quilts, which historically used colorful shapes and designs to secretly communicate maps and codes to slaves escaping to freedom along the Underground Railroad. Students added an artistic flair to their own STEM challenge as they created quilt designs that are meaningful to them. Without any words or texts, students used geometric shapes to tell their own stories and what makes them unique. Through research and hands-on STEM creations, students at Sedgefield Elementary made strong connections to African American history during Black History Month. In the spring, Hydenwood and Riverside Elementary Schools took to the court for a series of basketball games, a first in Newport News Public Schools among elementary grades. Security Officer Derek Gary uses the sport of basketball as a tool that helps build relationships, teach life skills, and enhance self-confidence. As the security officer at both Hydenwood and Riverside Elementary Schools, Officer Gary wanted to create a fun experience outside of the classroom to help 4th and 5th grade students feel connected to their schools. So, the first ever Newport News Public Schools Co-ed Elementary Basketball League was born. Students who showed an interest in participating and who would benefit socially and personally from a positive team experience were invited to try out. To remain on the team, students had to complete their schoolwork on time and have no discipline referrals. This was a wonderful reminder to the young student athletes that the title student comes before athlete. Coaches and educators witnessed the students taking their commitment to the team seriously by making good decisions in the classroom and growing as positive school citizens. With staff and administrators helping to coach, the teams held after-school practices to work on basketball skills, learn to play within a team system, and develop positive sportsmanship traits. For many of the student players, this was their first experience playing on an organized team, so the educators wanted them all to create positive memories. Hydenwood and Riverside played 2 games against each other, giving both schools a chance to host a game. Both times, the away teams were victorious, with Riverside winning a close game at Hydenwood, and then, 2 days later, Hydenwood winning a hard-fought match. This allowed students to enjoy the thrill of victory and emotionally cope with the sting of defeat. At both games, families and teachers showed up en masse, creating a spirited environment with standing room only. Riverside even formed the Bear Squad to enthusiastically cheer on their classmates. By creating this experience, Officer Derek Gary gave young student athletes the opportunity to develop life skills that extend far beyond the court as they learn the importance of being connected to a team, a school, and their family through commitment and dedication. Before the summer break, Newsom Park's third graders were involved in an all-encompassing, meaningful watershed educational experience. Educators, community partners, and local businesses pooled their resources and knowledge to help third graders at Newsom Park Elementary School enjoy a meaningful watershed educational experience. Since Newsom Park is home to the Math, Science, and Technology Magnet Program, educators created a variety of comprehensive learning opportunities for students to experience during an entire week of watershed and conservation topics. The goal was for students to understand how their actions impact the world around them, and that each of them has the power to make a positive difference in their environment. Informative guest speakers helped spark students' interest, while laying the foundational knowledge of the importance of a clean Chesapeake Bay watershed. Lacey Weaver, the community educator with Hampton Road Sanitation District, illustrated why healthy waterways are important for people and wildlife. Dan Baxter, the recycling and outreach coordinator with the City of Newport News, talked about the benefits of recycling and how trash can be transformed into useful items. This theme of upcycling was further reinforced by reading the book One Plastic Bag, the true story of how one woman in Gambia made a difference by creatively recycling plastic bags that were polluting her beautiful country. And just like the main character in the story, Newsom Park's third graders used plastic bags to make something fun. Kanisha Haskins, the owner of Earthy Child, guided students through the steps of repurposing a plastic bag into a toy kite. Earthy Child is a local business that specializes in creating fashionable and durable handcrafted products made with recycled materials, such as plastic bags, reclaimed yarn, and fabric scraps. The week wrapped up with students putting their knowledge into action by working together to clean up the grounds around their school. Darius Swift, president of Positive Energy Incorporated, assisted educators and students with the meaningful watershed educational experience from the beginning. On the last day, he helped organize students to strategically spread out and pick up trash around Newsom Park. By uniting with so many wonderful community partners, Newsom Park's third graders experienced an in-depth learning experience that will help them become educated stewards of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. And through the summer months, educators took time delivering brand new books to students across the city. For young students, it doesn't get more exciting than seeing their teachers roll into their neighborhood over the summer months to hang out. That's just one of the awesome perks of Books on Bikes Newport News, a volunteer initiative that brings free books and treats to students wherever they live. For 8 years, Books on Bikes has been delivering books during the summer months to encourage students to find joy in reading and avoid the summer slide by staying connected to learning year-round. This past summer, educators from an Achievable Dream Academy, Discovery STEM Academy, Greenwood, McIntosh, Stony Run, and Yates Elementary Schools volunteered their time each week to fill their bikes with great reads and delicious snacks before visiting neighborhoods in their school's zone. Using bus stops and home addresses as a guide, educators created safe biking routes to reach as many students as possible. Social media and phone calls would remind families what time Books on Bikes would visit their street on a given day. For some schools, it was a great chance for families to meet their new principals for the first time and continue building strong relationships between home and school. Books on Bikes even took time to lend their supplies and expertise to other schools. In early August, they joined Kiln Creek Elementary, riding through numerous neighborhoods delivering books for the very first time to eager readers. This summer alone, Books on Bikes Newport News delivered well over 2,000 books to children and adults of all ages, spreading the fun of reading across our entire city. During winter break, schools and offices will be closed from Monday, December 19th through Friday, December 30th. Then, teachers have a planning day on Monday, January 2nd, so students will return to learn on Tuesday, January 3rd. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of This Just In. And check out more fun and informative videos at nnpstv.com to see the many great things happening in Newport News Public Schools. Thanks for watching and have a Happy New Year.